Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you doing? It is Tuesday, day 2 of our How to Go Raw series. We have Luca here with us today. Everybody say hi to Luca.
Hi guys, hope you're doing well today and that you're ready for day two.
Oh, yeah, we're ready. Who's here with us today? We had almost 500 people view our video yesterday, so that is truly amazing. Thank you everyone who took part of the live, who watched later. We loved seeing all of your comments and your interactions. That was awesome and amazing. We love each and every one of you guys. You're all on a different stage of your journey. So just embrace it wherever you are and keep moving forward. All right, so it's good to see a lot of you back who were here yesterday. Okay, if you missed yesterday's show, excuse me, please go to the Units tab on our group page, Rejuvenate Raw with Kim group. Luca and I talked yesterday about how to get started, which included educating yourself to develop a strong why. So you'll have a strong belief, which will create a commitment to this lifestyle. Luca also talked about why raw foods are the most beneficial for the body. And then we gave everyone an actionable step, kind of like homework, right? To watch a Dr. Morse video. And we put up a link to the Great Lymphatic System under our video yesterday. So if you missed that, go back to yesterday's video. By the way, let's do a little exercise right now. If you all could scroll up to the top of the Rejuvenate Raw with Kim group page, you can see across the top where it says units. So click on that and you'll see yesterday's video there. You should also see a document that gives the day-to-day outline of what we're doing this week. So it's pretty cool, right? Because it's kind of hard on Facebook to find the video. A lot of people said yesterday, I can't find it. Where were you? So you just kind of have to scroll up and down the screen when we're live until you come on the live video. And then later, like tomorrow, we will have this video under the Units tab. So you can go back at any time and you can access those videos under the Units tab. You'll also see it by scrolling down the page, but it's much easier to go right to the tab. All right, so I know you guys probably want to get to the meat of the matter. Isn't that funny how we use that word? And talk about which foods to eat and how to do the raw food diet. And so many of you, when joining the group, say, I don't even know how to transition. How do I go to a raw food diet? Well, that's why we're here this week. So let me start off by just briefly sharing how I got started. You know, during my story yesterday, I talked about how it took so many years for me to decide to try to go all fruit. I was so terrified it would make me worse because of the sugar, you know, the whole sugar myth. I really did believe it because doctors told me you cannot eat fruit. It has too much sugar. It's going to feed all these infections, all these parasites, and all the awful things I had in my body. By the way, if you guys want to take a look at my lab report of all the things that I had, go to Rejuvenate Raw with Kim today, my main page, and I posted that lab report. It's pretty crazy when I look back at it, and it was very terrifying at the time. It lists all the heavy metals, the dyes, the parasites, just thing after thing, and I really thought I was going to die because there was so much there. But the cool thing is I'm detoxing out and I'm getting where I'm feeling pretty fantastic. All right, so back to my story. once I found out about Dr. Morse, I discovered the sugar myth is not true by watching his videos and listening and reading to testimonials from others. And, it even was people who healed their diabetes by eating fruit only. That just blew me away because it was so opposing to what I had been taught before. So, once I watched several videos and then developed a belief that Dr. Morse was right, and I'm telling you, I did this within a day's time. I just sat there all day watching video after video after video from Dr. Morse. And it started making more and more and more sense to me. And I all of a sudden just told my husband, that's it. We're going to go buy fruit and we're doing it right now. I was really, really sick at the time, but I thought, I am going to do this. And those of you who know me, follow me, I'm a get it done girl. So once it made sense to me, I am all on board. I'm like, let's do this. And I'll never forget on the way to the grocery store that day to buy fruit, I looked outside my window and we have a beautiful park in our town. There was a beautiful double rainbow that was so brilliant and bright. And I just knew it was my sign that I was on the right path. And it truly was. I know that today. So I decided that I was going to go ahead and try it. I probably wasn't going to die in a day. So I'd give it one day and see how I felt. I was going to go all fruit one day. And as I said yesterday, it was just like heaven on earth for that day. I was just biting into this beautiful fruit. I hadn't tasted anything sweet for years and years. And so it was like amazing for me. It was too good to be true. And so as you can see, the end of this story is that I did not get worse, but I got better. And now 2.5 years later, my life is more amazing than ever before. So I am in complete gratitude of Dr. Morse and his teachings. And I'm so grateful for all my coaches who guided me through the detox process. So now I'm going to turn it over to Luca to first talk briefly about the sugar myth and then what foods are best on a raw food diet. And he'll provide a brief guide on how to transition to a raw food diet. Just keep in mind, guys, that all of this is pretty surfacey information because of the time of trying to keep it to 15 minutes because we know you guys have busy schedules like we do. So Luca, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I think the sugar myth is definitely one of the controversial subjects that exist in today's world. Definitely, I always hear stories and arguments about sugars and how they're all bad for us, and then they put those, let's say, simple sugars like fruit and vegetables in the same box of processed sugars and starch and stuff like that. So what we need to understand first is what our human body, let's say our human machine, what it actually needs to function. And it needs amino acids, it needs fatty acids, and it needs sugar. But it needs simple sugar. Simple sugar is the best for our body, mixed, especially mixed with oxygen. And that's why breathing is so crucial in general. So what our body does, it uses digestion to separate the simple from the complex. So whenever we consume, let's say, processed sugars, complex sugars, starch or something like that, our body must break that to simple sugars before it can actually use it properly. And that's why sugars are a big factor in our health. So, for example, fructose, which is the simple sugar from fruit, is the highest energetic form of simple sugar, and it enters the cell through diffusion, which means it saves the energy for the body and cells as well. And this can be pretty confusing sometimes to people, so let me just try and simplify it, and I'll explain it more deeper in the challenge because it's a pretty big topic. Whenever you eat simple sugars from fruits, those sugars don't need any help from the body to get to the cells. Every other type of sugar needs insulin and energy to get to the cells. And of course, there are a lot of, let's say, testimonials from people who had diabetes like type 1 and type 2. Type 2 is of course easier to reverse and to regenerate and to heal from. But either way, both cases had a lot of testimonies from healing on fruits, which is pretty contradictory to itself, right? If we consider everything that they speak about bad sugars in the world. So keep that in mind, that definitely there's no need to be afraid of fruit sugar or vegetable sugar. So fructose or glucose, those are amazing things that we can put inside our bodies, and it will definitely run smoother than you think. Okay, so that's about it for the sugar myth. Now we can talk about what is the best way to transition, like what is the easiest way to transition on this new lifestyle. What food do we actually need to get rid of that doesn't serve our highest good and health, and what is the best to put in? So the recipes, there's a lot of recipes, of course, for raw foods and everything else, and I would definitely uh, recommend Kim for all of that, because I'm not into those recipes so much. I'm too lazy for that. So she's the master chef in all of that, in all of for all the people who want to go into recipes and making this more fun for themselves and actually more enjoying than just being simple and boring like I do it usually. So let's just start with the first step to transitioning is that you need transitioning to this detoxification, let's say hydrating, healthier lifestyle is to start removing certain complex and obstructing and mucus forming foods from our diet, which is meat, dairy and eggs, refined sugars, artificial chemicals, grains, and in a sense, everything that is man made, that is not from nature itself. So why do we need to remove these foods in this time when you're going to a different lifestyle? Because these mucus forming foods are on the acid sides of chemistry. And when they come into our bodies and we're not doing a lot of other things, especially long term, if we're consuming them long term on a consistent daily basis, they cause inflammation and congestion, and then our bodies has a mucus response to these foods to protect itself, and within time we start having clogged lymphatic system and obstructions within the body that blocks our energy and actually just get us more and more into a diseased state of being. Our body literally needs the simplicity. Our body needs simple sugars, amino acids. It digests them easily. It doesn't take a lot of energy, and it uses and forms from it what it needs for itself. So what do we need to add then? When we remove these foods, we need to add the simple ones, the best ones for us, which is the consumption of alkaline forming foods, mainly fruit and vegetables. We will be having, for example, in this period of transitioning, the easiest way that you can do it is literally incorporating first fruits for breakfast. I mean, that's the easiest and the best foods that you have for breaking the fast in the morning, because whether you're aware of it or not, you are fasting when you sleep, and when you wake up, your body was in a certain fasting state, and the best way you can break it is with fruits, which will help cleanse the body, which will help eliminate that what happened and what body started to eliminate within the fast at the night. So fruits will definitely help you eliminate the things that your body needs to eliminate. Afterwards, you can, for example, have a juice or a smoothie, and there are a lot of simple recipes that you can do, or just keeping it mono juice, in a sense, just one type of fruit that you can make juice of, which is even better, because the body definitely the simple you can give the body ingredients, the simplest foods, like less types, the better for the body. So after that, You can have a salad for lunch, for example. If you're eating lunch, you can have a salad. In between, you can have, again, juice or smoothie, depending on what you like. And for dinner, you have a choice whether whether you will go all raw instantly, or depending on your condition, depending on where you want to go and how fast you want to go, or where you were before this change, you can have for dinner steamed or cooked veggies, like just slowly transitioning into it. Or if you want to go 100% raw, you can go for salads. And it literally, in that sense, it depends on your choice. It depends on where you are, and on the pace that you choose for yourself, because some people don't have the time to wait. Some people who are in a really bad state, they need to go all in. But for other people who are just want to improve their lifestyle, they can go slower, and they can take some time with and making it easier for themselves, so they won't experience a lot of detoxification symptoms, which I will talk about deeply more in the later days of these series.
Okay, great information. Okay, how many of you are feeling a little more prepared to start on a raw food journey by the information you're getting here this week? So, thank you, Luca, for that so much. If you guys could like comment in the box and tell us like something new you've learned through our information, or something new you are applying in your life from the information you're getting here, it would be great feedback for us to know that what we're doing is right, or we could maybe do things a little differently to help you even more. As Lucas said, I think we're talking about detox tomorrow, and this is pretty darn important because when we go on a raw food, mostly fruit diet, we're going to experience detox. There's just no way around it. I'm going to tell you a funny story. If you've been reading my post yesterday, I talked about how my mom has come to stay with us here in Florida this week, and she is definitely not on a raw food diet. She's very much into junk food and a standard American diet. So since she's staying with me, I get to do a little experimenting with her, and I gave her a glass of orange juice to start her day, and she thought it tasted really good. But it was so funny because within like, gosh, 2 minutes, she's like, I'm getting really dizzy. And I tried not to laugh because I'm like, it's okay, mom, you're just detoxing. That's a really good thing. Just sit down and let it pass. So, anyway, it's something you guys will definitely want to tune in for, because if you're going to start this lifestyle, you're going to want to know about detoxification and how to handle it. All right. I just want to remind you that our explanations here are pretty short. And but the cool thing is we have our challenge coming up, and we get to go into much greater detail. So I had a few questions on how this challenge works. It starts on February 15th and goes through the 19th. It's called the 5-Day Rejuvenate Raw Challenge. And it's just really implementing everything we're talking about here this week, is how to transition, how to handle detox, how to fix the food, what equipment to use, how to prepare the food, how to shop for it. There's just so much information that goes into this, and we can't possibly give it all to you in 15 minutes, a half an hour during this week. So every day we're going to devote at least 45 minutes, Luke and I, to going deeper into all these subjects we're talking about. And the cool thing is we're going to be answering your questions along the way. And every day you'll have an opportunity to let us know if you're experiencing some difficulties, how we can help you. You have questions. So you'll have an option to receive a free copy of my Rejuvenate Raw with Kim recipe book. Well, it's $15. The challenge itself is $25. The recipe book is $15, so you pay like $39.97 if you want to be part of the challenge and you don't have the book yet. But if you already have the book, you pay $25 to join the challenge, which is, oh my gosh, such a great price for everything that you're going to get. And if you have been part of our challenge and you've been through that week and experienced the amazing information you received, could you let people know in the comment section what to expect and what you experienced? I'd really appreciate that. So once signing up, you'll receive a menu for the week. And then every day we'll post, I made recipe videos, which is a juice, a smoothie, and a more of a gourmet type meal. I think one day's dessert. We might have an appetizer one day, but the food is just amazing. So I demonstrate how to do that. I talk about the equipment. I give tips and tricks along the way. So it is just so much good information. And what people enjoy, I think, almost the most is being in this group. You'll be part of a private Facebook group with only people who are part of the challenge. I'm telling you, we have a blast in this group. People are posting pictures of their recipes. They're showing their successes. They're showing their failures, asking for help. They're encouraging each other, making friends. We just have a blast in this group. And, you know, if they have questions for me, they're posting them there. And it's just so much fun to see everybody's pictures of the recipes. It truly is just an experience like nothing else. And so many people came out of there saying, this was one of the best weeks I've had in a long time. All right, so I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you guys are getting out of these videos. I love your feedback, so please put it in the comment section. I'd really appreciate that. So again, we're going to be talking more about detoxification tomorrow. I'll put the link for the challenge here underneath the video. Remember that it's not too early to sign up because there's a little preparation involved. You want to make sure you have the right equipment, and we'll talk about that a few weeks prior. We'll start posting in that private group for the challenge and answering questions, letting you know how to get started. So you want to sign up at least a couple weeks early if you want to be part of the challenge. And if you can't do that and you're seeing this last minute, fine, sign up. It'll still work out. So just all good stuff. All right, so we would love to hear your questions. I see a few of you have posted here. And Luca, do you have a few minutes to answer? I see a couple questions here.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Shoot.
maybe just one. Tina's asking, I've been on fruit for 18 months with no detox. Any ideas why no detox symptoms? Well, honey, you are so lucky. Wow, that's awesome. Go ahead, Luca.
Yeah, I mean, I would need to know a lot more details about you and your body and everything that you've been doing, but in that sense, it might mean that you really have a strong genetic constitution, which means that detox is easier for you and you won't have so much, let's say, detoxing or uncomfortable periods of healing crisis. But other than that, that's a great thing, actually, if you really don't have any detoxification symptoms and you're actually improving. That's also an important factor. Like, did you have a lot of good results during these 18 months, as you said, without symptoms?
Okay, that totally makes sense. Thank you. All right, everybody, we're going to sign off for the day. If you come up with questions throughout your day, feel free to post them here under the video. And meet us back here tomorrow. It is such an important topic, so you won't want to miss it. All right, Luca, thanks again for all your expertise and knowledge. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you
Bye.
tomorrow.